there is a plague consuming the world of Elden Ring. Well, no, it isn't the Death Blight, or the Scarlet Rot, or even the parasitic Erdtree. Crabs. It's crabs. What? So today, we're going to answer the age-old question. Can I kill every crab in the lands between? How long will it take? And more importantly, why has God turned his back on us to allow such vile varmint to exist? Doesn't seem that complicated now, does it? But the results may surprise you. Thanks to Hedonistic for making the crab percent mod that made this run infinitely easier. Now, let's get our friend and helper, Eel Hancock, and get on with the show. You know how I do things around here. I wake up to immediately pull up the salaryman's retirement plan and arrive at the old office. I pay the style tax, this is just for me, and then arrive in Limgrave. But before we could begin my little crab crusade, I have some errands to run. I get the first 2 bonfires, so I have access to Torrent ASAP, pop the talking jar for stronger Ash of Wars, spend the next 6 business days trying to bleed Grail for those juicy levels, and then finally obtain Radagon's Sword Seal for more extra levels. Now the rules of the run are simple. Find crustacean, kill crustacean, mark crustacean down, move on. I remember there being like 2 in Lake Agil and Limgrave, so oh my god. The plague is spreading, thank god. The babies haven't achieved self-preservation yet, so they're relatively easy to squash, but the daddy crabs on the other hand, they like to be sneaky. To prove my point, find the crab. Yeah, go ahead, I'll wait. Joke's on you, he was the one who took the picture. These sand spawns are cunning, and they will take your lunch money if you're not careful. But luckily, all you have to do is just run over to certain spots and, aha, they show themselves. It's very easy to die to the big boys, especially when they get touchy. So, I just keep my distance, or better yet, create a crab-on-crab violence. And voila, Noble Peace Prize, here I come. And don't worry, if I get lost, I have the Elden Ring Wiki to help. It has everything you could possibly need to... Hold on. You're telling me that the wiki's consistently wrong, and also the information on crabs is a fucking joke? That's pure crustacean propaganda. I mean, it couldn't hurt to use as a like suggestion, and it suggests one by the Limgrave tunnels. Ah, there he is. I mean, based on the wiki, that's pretty much it. Well, that's concerning. Not only because someone has lied to me on the internet, but because now I'm immediately lost. These 36 crabs were the only competent crabs in the game that I knew of, so now I have to go on this grand quest to inspect all of Limgrave. The beaches around the first steps were a dead end. The big river was a dead end. Only a gank fight and a goon sesh with patches. Luckily by the Soifers River entrance beach lied the solution. A bunch of crabs ready to be executed. From there, I make a leap of faith and find a small crab family by the southern entrance to the stranded graveyard. You might want to look away for this. I had a quick sidebar with Vier to start his questline, and then traveled to Coastal Cave, which was next on my list, but no crabs were found there. Just demi-humans, which were easily taken care of. As I said, easy. And my prize is crabs to kill. Hell yeah. The pond outside the Ella Church, no. Now I'm a bit lost. I was forced to recheck some areas until I found some late bloomers by the Third Church America. After one last inspection here, I moved on to the Weeping Peninsula, which is about to make me cry because that is a lot of ground to cover, which means that crabs can be anywhere or anything. From my time doing extensive research, a Google search about 12 seconds ago, inland water is the best spots for crabbing. And looking at the map, to Castle Morn I go. I find one in a poison puddle, which kinda made my research fucking pointless, but Castle Morn had more secrets for me. The secret being death and decay. And where there's death and decay, the crabs follow. That's a couple more crabs off my list. Unfortunately, that was only one side of the peninsula, so I traveled all the way across the landmass, only to find that they started using diversion tactics. Awesome.
And now there's gonna be my favorite part, spending hours on this beach trying to find these fucking crabs. Like, wouldn't they want to be cleansed? Like, it's just baffling to me. Like these guys taking one for their team. America blesses you.
And then I debarked on my next siege, Soiford River, which honestly was a crab gold mine. The whole first section was empty, but the actual river? My goodness. 3 crabs down here, a whole school of fucking small fries on top. It felt so good being a positive force in my community. Now future-proofing a bit here. I need access to land, which requires 2 great runes, so I need to slay at least 2 rune bearers. Unfortunately, I am gonna have to say hi to Godric. But first, Margit, who was just a roadblock, and he gets the Godric treatment. Stormville seems clean. That's what they want you to think. Understand, to exterminate isn't a matter of dealing with the problem now, it's dealing with the problem so it never happens again. So, I did a security sweep and found something perplexing. I mean, it looks crab adjacent, but like really, what is a crab? Can a crab be more than claws and pincers? Is a crab anything that shies away from the very gods themselves? This meandering was getting me nowhere. I exchanged his existence for more questions, and I put those in the unknown cube where unspeakable horrors end up, and after that, just kind of head straight to Godric. Okay, well, Godric has hands. Thank you. I'll be here all week. But as always, he wasn't anything overly difficult. Just gatekeep, gaslighting, girl bossing, you know, the usual. But these two got a little tricky, especially with Crusher Claw. Holy shit. Crusher Claw. Godric has a Crusher Claw. Sorry, I lost a little bit of myself there. I now have the first great rune, but I wasn't ready for the horrors I was about to witness. Liurnia. Crabs are abundant here in this godless land, so I travel around the lakes, waiting for... What the hell is that? God drop crab DLC? Oh god, crayfish. Looks like crabs. These monstrosities seemed like the creatures that God abandoned, but they seemed slimmer, more aggressive, and they killed me easier, which is where an issue arises. Every death means the plague returns, and that means every crab needs to be slain again and again. Listen, I can sell these fuckers all day. Progress is important. Thankfully, Jesus got my back. And by Jesus, I mean my creator, Hedonistic, who created the simple crab counter for crab percent mod I'm using currently. So now, the crabs will no longer respawn, which is a godsend for the tally. Oh, and this is perfect. I now have a head count. Apparently, according to Hedonistic, there are exactly 478 crabs in the game. Fucking what? 478? I thought there was maybe 25 crabs tops, but 478. This is turning into a huge problem, especially with the size of Liurnia. I don't know how I'll be able to find all of them. And so I rode Torrent around, but nothing arose. I rode around for a while. Luckily, I found their outpost. By the poison lake located here, there are more than I could ever count. Some by Lake Town, some by the Pillar of Grace, and one in Carrion Manor. A single one. That I had to fucking slay Loretta just to kill. I have a feeling Miyazaki is onto me, and placed that one there specifically to give me a migraine for an hour. But this is where one of the real issues begins to show its pincers. These little guys are so hard to see normally that they're very easy to miss. So I had to ride through Liurnia a couple times. I found a group of 5 death crabs on vacation. Around this time, I decided to hit up the arguably most evil and heinous place a human can go. A place of higher education. Rhea Lucaria Academy. But I wasn't searching for depressed students studying for a future out of their hands. I was searching for the faculty. I mean crustaceans. Luckily, most of it wasn't eventful. Just like real education. Until after the Red Wolf radahn. Like rats in the cage, the crabs have trapped themselves in the courtyard. Fucking idiots. Fortunately for me, though, it wasn't going to be easy. The virgin crabs have called the abductor virgins to deal with me. Serves you fuckers right. But little did I know, new crab update. Crystal crabs joined the game. You need to keep your eyes open, because if you don't, then you'll miss them. I found 2 on the rooftops, but the third one became an issue. Where the hell could it have gone? So I accidentally stumbled upon my guy on a rafter in a building. And now I can get the last boss needed to enter the menu. Rellana wasn't even worth showing, honestly. It was a waste of time, and unfortunately she was a roadblock that I needed to deal with. But in the back of my mind, all I was thinking about was crabs. Where else could they even be? Moving towards a rune-strewn precipice, with a name like that, you think crabs would have their claws all over it, but was indeed crabless. Then we make it to the Altus Plateau. I travel through prime crab real estate, and nothing. If I was a crab, which I'm not, don't ever call me a crab, I would love this spot. The Windham Ruins was a dead end, but I wasn't here for the ruins. I was here for the catacombs. But because the catacombs were potentially crab-ridden. Or, that's what the wiki says. So, I mean, I had to check it out to prove my boy wrong.
No way, the one time it's correct, it's fucking the 37th catacomb in the game, in the far back corner. I hate the wiki. I hate it so much.
Then I checked the Black Knives catacomb, and voila, crabs. I dealt with the catacomb guardian Kalid to have access to the minor Erdtree catacomb, and holy shit, more crabs. Surprisingly, the wiki was being truthful, huh? No shot it would be accurate the 4th time in a row, am I right, fellas? Science time. The wiki states that the atrocities are by the Second Church America, so who the fuck is this? The crabs really sent an assassin? He was truly your strongest? After that sad attempt for a champion, I had a feeling that the crabs were hiding somewhere. I felt it. By a lake, on the outskirts of the Second Church America, yeah, they were. I also checked the moat around the shaded castle. Nothing. And another moat around Landell, which hid some crabs, but I wasn't happy. 178 is a huge number, and I'm about like a fraction of the way there. How the hell could these crabs even be? Where the hell could these crabs even be? Maybe I don't know what constitutes a crab. Is this a crab? Please, God help me. Anyway, I slayed the draconic tree sentinel and traveled through the once golden city, now decimated thanks to those crabs, probably. All I needed was access to the late game, and then all of my questions will have answers. Since Landell has no crabs, I checked. I slayed Golden Boy, Mr. Fake King, had fun at the Radahn Festival, you should have been there. Did all of Ronnie's questline, which meant all of Carrion's study hall. I killed a maid. Tamed the waifu doll, hearing its delicate whispers, killing Blythe, then killing the astral entity, all to propose to a dead girl for the simple chance to kill some crabs. And guess what? No crabs. But then I had to do all of Various questline, which meant becoming an invader, killing a virgin, and losing a finger to finally deal with the Moog Lester. I'm just saying, being charmed by a 1,000-year-old child god doesn't make you look good no matter how you look at it. Now, I have access to the snowfields, of DLC, and Mount Gelmir. But before I did any of that, I had to check if the Moonlight Altar had some fucking crabs. The wiki states so I wrote back and forth to no avail. Mount Gelmir was a god-honest waste of time. I didn't even fucking attempt Volcano Manor. Nothing but rocks and depressions. And I'm not talking about the mountain. The crabs were trying to slow me down, and I wasn't going to stand for it. I decided to hop into the DLC, since I know, thanks to the Nexus mod post, that there should be 78 crabs in the DLC. And luckily, as if a premonition from Miyazaki himself that I am on the true and righteous path, he made the most DLC bosses optional. And thanks to the wiki, none of these fucking crabs are even in the endgame. So I can just relax for once in my life. So I traveled, and I find that the Pillared Path site of Grace, some crabs in a small poison pond. I travel up the Elac River to see some crabs, and then back down for a couple more. I feel like I'm getting close to the end. I travel to the Cerulean coast to go into a cave, to kill some crabs, to reach the southern mausoleum where more crabs will die. Now, I just need to reach the Shadu Altus for a crab load of crabs. Luckily, a shortcut shall help us out. What? Why can't I use the shortcut? No.
Okay. Phase 2. Never mind. Bonk. Oh my god, dude. I hate her so much. Okay. I wanna die. Oh, that's fucking done with.
quite a setback, but these crabs are singing for death by my hands. I finally make it to Shadowkeep after being away for so long. Shadowkeep, the home of the crabs, and I kill some scavengers on the roofs and then lower the water level to kill a huge family of crabs. Now, the Shadow Altus has been conquered. It's time to travel to Spooky Woods. The wiki says the crabs are here. It's usually correct about the broad stuff like this. Usually individual locations are wrong, but it was wrong. Not a single fucking crab in sight. I'm losing my fucking mind. Being at my wit's end, I checked the snowfield because the wiki says that there's crabs there. I checked around the main path to the mountaintop of the giants, no avail. But I heard the beckoning call of the consecrated snowfields. Luckily, I had a better idea.
So I'll some speedrunners do it. Let's see if I can pull this off. Okay, now I think I jump to the left. Oh. Oh, yo. Okay. That's pretty, come on, that's pretty impressive. If you're sitting at home wondering, well, what the hell are you doing? It's actually pretty simple. I'm trying not to die. Because if I slip off this mountain, then I have to redo that whole skip all over again. And look at that. My pure gaming talent comes out to shine.
Lo and behold, at the consecrated snowfields, a plethora of crustaceans waiting to fall by my hands. The joy of the hunt, watching them slump over, the sound of whipped swings. But something wasn't right. The numbers were not starting to add up. I literally checked all the info on the crabs, top to bottom, and all the wikis. I seem to be missing like 15 somewhere. I'm at 469. There should be 478. So I checked literally every place that had water. I even went back to old areas just to recheck. Nothing. Well, what do I do? What you're seeing right now is a fucking spreadsheet of every fucking crab in the game. I went through and I counted every single crab in the game. And the grand total came out to 469 crabs. And just to be extra sure, I did it again. I restarted and I killed every crab on the list again. And I tell you, when I saw that value hit 469 again, I felt nothing. No joy, no happiness, no accomplishment. The infestation has been eradicated, but I wasn't finished. Because there's something I've been hiding from you. I've been sitting on arcane knowledge this whole time. In the most reputable source on the internet, popularmechanics.com, they have an article about crabification, which has a lot of big words I don't understand, but the skinny is that nature wants to make everything into crabs due to efficient biology. And just like that, my Abraham moment, like Elijah, I shall show all species of the lands between the light, and everything in the world shall return to normal. I see what America expects of me. Everything needs to be slain, whether demigod, tarnished, or even deer. Everything needs to go, because no crab has ever felt the warmth of grace. Everything is a crab. There we go. Now it's done. Except for one last crab. And as always, I'll see you on the other side.